welcome to another special edition of Digital Photography Live with Mr. Wade. Today I'm going to be teaching you about Lightroom Classic, the workspace, keywording, and metadata. All right, so you should have opened up your Lightroom Classic. You should have something that looks a bit like this. These are the 4 panels that we typically see in Lightroom Classic. Up here we have different modules. The 2 ones that we'll be working on in this class are Library and Develop. And Library is for sorting and organizing, and Develop is for photo editing. All right, so first item of business is to start a catalog. So you're going to go File, New Catalog, and you're going to be typing in Lightroom Classic Training or something like that. You want to be locating this in your desktop. I think the default is probably in Pictures, but change it because this is a place where we can delete it later when we remember to do so. Okay, click Create. Okay, this is restarting Lightroom Classic now. That's what my desktop looks like. And now, here we are. Okay, so the first item of business is to import. So this left side of the workspace is your computer. This is where we can locate your hard drive and any files that you want to import. Okay, so I'm going to download, I'm going to exercise files. We have all the photos here. It's beautiful, all of them are checked, and then we're gonna click import. Okay, so this should be dropping in a few hundred photos. We're clicking enable. This is address lookup, so the photos include the metadata of the origin of the photos, which is kind of a cool feature. All right, so just a rough overview of this workspace. The top left is the navigator panel. This is kind of a preview panel, so you can look at individual shots in bigger form. This is our source panel where we have all of our files. Publishing services we don't need so much. This is the film strip, which can be played around with by grabbing the border and shrinking and increasing and decreasing the size. You can also increase the decrease of the thumbnails here. Okay, and then we have the histogram and the keywording panels, the metadata here. And this is what we'll be playing around with today. All right, so the first item of business, I want you to head over here to Chapter 2. We're going to be playing with these Chapter 2 files. These are photos from 3 different countries, or 4 different countries. Yeah, the United States, Australia, and the UK. All right, and so what we're going to be doing here first is we're going to be adding keywords. To show you how to do this, I've clicked on our first one, Borrego Springs, and what we're going to do is we are going to add some keywords, which are basically category terms used to better organize the photos. These are terms that are going to be embedded in the image. So there are 2 ways that you can go about clicking on all the photos. You can click the lazy way, which is to hold Command and A, or you can just click on one and shift click the end of it. Okay, so here we have all of them selected. I'm going to add our first keyword over here. I'm going to write in desert and comma space nature and then enter. And so now we have these keywords added. Yeah, so pretty straightforward, pretty easy to do. Another thing that I'd like you to be doing is adding, well, there's a whole series of keywords that I want you to be adding. And you can refer to the Google Classroom to see what those are. One of them is plants, so plants is added. I'm going on to Idlewild now. So I'm selecting all of them, and I'll just write in winter and nature. Okay, so they've all been keyworded. If I want a bigger group, okay, so notice how I've selected the United States now, and the shots from Idlewild are still selected. So if I add a keyword now to everything, it's still only going to go to Idlewild. So I'm going to go back to Command A, all of this is selected, and I'm going to put in United States. Enter. Okay, so now everything has been identified as the United States. Okay, so you want to follow the instructions on Google Classroom to know the exact keywords you're going to be using to classify this chapter 2, which includes Australia, UK, and Italy. All right, the next item of business, I'm going to be teaching you about metadata. So for metadata, what I'd like you to do is go up here to metadata and scroll down to edit metadata presets. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to be creating a preset, which, by the way, you could have included in the import stage. And that would be probably the easiest way to do it, but I'm showing it to you now in the middle of things. All right, so the main reason why you want metadata is just information about you that is embedded into the photo. And this is useful to you because everyone in this class will become rich and famous photographers, but how will people know who you are and how will people know how to pay you? Metadata is the answer. So I want you to scroll down here and to copyright. To add the copyright symbol, you're going to press Option, then G. Option, then G, and then you're going to write in your name. Of course, these photos were not taken by you, and it's kind of evil of me to suggest, but we're not selling or publishing, so we can feel good about this. This is actually created by a woman named Teresa. Okay, we're also going to put in our email address, Dave the Blade Wade @gmail.com. Yeah, all right, and then we can click done. This should give us the option of saving it as our new preset. I'll just click David Wade. Okay, so this metadata now can be applied to whatever photos we want, and it could have been applied to the whole big import batch before we put it in, but we're doing it now. Okay, so I'm going to chapter 2. This is all of the photos, all 137, and I'm going to select all once again. And yeah, I'm going over here to the metadata preset. I'm going down to David Wade, I'm clicking on that, and then I'm going to say apply all selected. Boom! Shakalaka. So now the copyright of David Wade has been added to everything, and also my email. All right. So that is kind of a rough introduction to Lightroom Classic, organizing with keywords and metadata. Yeah, you will want to refer to Google Classroom again for the more specific instructions of what you're doing for this assignment, but this is how you do it. So I'm happy to help out when you have any other questions, and that's it.